In here, you don't have to pitch your solution, but there are no investors, so don't worry. We are definitely more interested to understand how you made it, and specifically country by country, what you find in your country that helped you to scale up, and what are main barriers that you found. And so probably it would be beneficial just to have a quick presentation of yourselves, meaning, this is my company name, we are from, that's the capital raised thus far, we are about, this is the head count, and then we'll ask you a few questions. Start from you.
Okay, so I'm Hans Constant, I'm the founder and the CEO of Ontafos, a data science company very much focused on life science and healthcare data, integrating data, making easy accessible. The company was founded in 2013 in Belgium. We raised so far, we raised $8.8 million. It's most US, it's most European, just a little US investment. We're a company now with 29 people. We're hiring like 1 person per month, and seems like we're growing fast. I think I answered all your questions.
Perfect.
Hello everyone, my name is Mergam Tsahani. I'm the founder and CEO of Giraffa. Giraffa is a media services OTT platform, as well as an e-commerce platform built on top of an Albanian language search engine. We serve the Balkans, an area that we think has been neglected by the global tech giants. We are a team of 70 people, 7-0. We have raised so far close to 5 million. And we have a tremendous growth CAGR of well over 500% of the last 3 years.
Hi, I'm Thomas. I'm the founder and CEO of Clever City. We're based in Munich and have an office in Chicago since 6 months. We are specialized in smart parking, in sensors, analyzing smart parking data in on-street parking. And we raised roughly 20 million in 2 what we call A rounds. Yeah, that's it.
How many people?
35.
35, okay, cool.
Hi everyone, I'm Aurélie Wen and I founded Agorize in North America. We're a team of 70 people, 7-0, just like you, Giraffa. Created in Paris, headquarters in Paris, and we're an open innovation as a service platform. So we organize large-scale challenges to solve global problems for corporations or public companies. And we raised 3 million euros. 3 million euros about 3 years ago, and we're about to close a Series B of between 10 and 12 million euros this year.
Okay, so again, just 4 different countries: Germany, France, Belgium, and Albania. You see company raising from that have raised, because again, fundraising is an ongoing process, you know, it's like taking drugs. When you start, you will never stop. And then something that you have raised something between 3 and 10, 12 million thus far, people ranging from 29, 30 to 70 people. So this is something, again, tells me that this is the kind of company that Europe is able to produce. And it's not easy to get to that level. And so I would like to ask you, thinking about your specific geography, what you found in your geography that helped you to secure funding and scale up, and what, on the other side, slowed down the process? Start from you.
All right. I would say at first when we launched the company, we had a lot of cynicism, like very negative people telling us, oh my God, if you're ever going to make money out of this company, I'm going to shave my head. Yeah, that's true. That was an innovation.
A lot of bold people around then.
Yeah.
And more calm.
So yeah, a lot of skepticism at first when we launched the company. So you're always gonna find haters, especially in France, I guess, because we're a very cynical population. But then we were lucky enough to find people crazy enough to trust us, especially corporations. And that's why our funding came from corporate VCs at first. But also, since year 1, we have been profitable. So that was a very good thing. I think we were lucky enough to find very quickly our business model. The ecosystem, the startup ecosystem in France at the time in 2011 was very positive as well. So that helped a lot. It's pretty hype to be a startup, I would guess. And that helped us open doors to large corporations. That was very good. The first Series A funding helped a lot to recruit the best talent and make sure the product was made. We have very talented engineers also in Europe, which is great to build great products there. And that helped us a lot in our growth as well.
So the Series A was the 3 million that you referred?
Yes.
And how long does it take to raise the 3 million?
It took us less than 5 months,
okay.
4 or 5 months. And right now our Series B, we're about at the same amount of time.
Okay. Let's move to you, Thomas.
Well, very similar experience. I think we could scale up because we didn't rely on Germany. We decided very early on that we're going to take every opportunity to, do deals outside. After living 1 year in the Silicon Valley, in the Silicon Valley, you ask yourself, what do you need to do to make it work? And sometimes the Germans try to be very creative to answer the question, why can't it work? So you have to overcome that as well. And sometimes I'm saying, Germans like to be pioneers, but they don't want to be first. And so therefore, our reputation as German engineers and German engineering and quality is far superior outside of Germany than inside of Germany. So it was a great decision for us to go to Australia, to go to Russia, to Dubai, to all these places. If we would have relied on Germany alone, we wouldn't have made it.
Your Series A, how much it was?
$18 million. We had 2 rounds. We raised 2.5 million euros first, and then a year and a half or 2 years later, we raised $15 million.
Okay. How long does it take to take this first 2.5?
How long?
How long does it take to take?
It took us a year, close to a year. Yeah.
Because that's something, again, here it can sound strange because, again, here things happen definitely more fast, a bit faster. But I think the big barrier in Europe is, again, seed funding now is easy, I would say. But when you go to the Series A, you're planning to raise something that is above the million, the 2 million, and is your first big round. That's something that typically is the big obstacle because it takes a lot of time and a lot of effort because it's something that is a company is coming from nowhere and the amount is significant, is the first big round, and then probably the 50 million that come thereafter, it took shorter time than the first 2.5. Let's go to Albania for a bit. So what's the landscape down there, so,
So
you raised 3 million, right?
What?
3 million you raised, right?
No, close to 5.
Close to 5, sorry. Okay.
4.6. So the biggest challenge we had actually was the region, and actually even today we have a challenge with the region. The region doesn't have the best perception in Europe. It's one of these areas of Europe that almost it's known for problematic issues, political issues. But then again, it's 2018, and I don't think there is any other place that doesn't have any political issues. But the reality is it's much better than the perception is. And typically when investors do visit the area, they do change their mind in most of the instances. It's very fastly emerging and has opportunities that is very hard to find elsewhere in Europe across different economies to grow. Our fundraising was very, very difficult. Actually, we are a US company incorporated in the US, and we are a branch back in Albania and Kosovo and Macedonia.
This is called dual company, yes.
Yeah. So that was the only way for us to get investment. We have no local investors. Most of our investors are from US, very reputable angels and super angels from the United States, and some of the VCs who operate in Europe as well as in San Francisco. For us, it was very difficult. It took us a long time, and the initial investment that I personally put my 401k and 403b from the United States, it took us almost close to 2 years, and we almost ran out of money, and it was tough times because everybody loved our business, loved our traction. Even on early days, we had great traction, but the region was always a barrier for us. And we ended up working with the investors who could actually see the vision and actually look at the lessons learned from other markets when they were emerging on this situation. So we had to create an extra argument step. Imagine you go into an investor and you have to argue the stability of the region and forget about the risks of the business. You are talking about macro indicators, and it was a barrier that we are still facing today, but I don't think it's impossible to overcome.
When the company was founded?
Well, the initial phase was during my master's program at NYU when I worked on the search engine for New Zealand domain, 2011.
Okay.
But the actually registration was in June 2014.
Where your company was founded?
2011 too.
What your company was founded?
2012, and then we changed it 2015. We did the first round.
And just to give me when your company was founded?
It was founded 2011, but there was a legal entity.
Just to making a point, it's fucking hard. And so these guys start, and then in order to move, the first steps are all baby steps. It takes a lot. And then when finally shine, they start taking speed. But again, if you look over here, you think something that has been in 2011, it looks like, okay, what kind of is another geological age? You're still there. People can even stay typically 18 months in a company. So that is the typical, when you're asking what's different in Europe, that's what's different in Europe. That quality takes a lot of time to be nurtured and to get to the level. Sorry. Ontoforce, Belgium. What's the environment in Belgium?
I think the environment is great, to be honest. I don't think it's so bad. The thing, though, is that indeed we also had the skepticism, and people didn't believe they would pay for it. They didn't believe we would have so much customers. It would never work. I was crazy. But I think that's synonym for being an entrepreneur. But anyhow, so we made it. So finding money was kind of easy. We even said 3 times no to a term sheet. The reason why is I think you need to go for smart and committed money. And in Belgium, we're very lucky, and I think in Europe also, because there's a lot of incentivization, and you have Horizon 2020, you have all of that, we have great institutes, we have great talent. So finding money for me was easy. I think the first funding I did in 3 months, the second one in 4 months, and now I have an add-on in 3 months, so that's really fast. But you need to also think about when you decide to move ahead with that investor, that's where it starts. And the first chat, of course, is before that. So I think it's easy to find money. It's less easy to find smart money. The point, though, is that the skepticism in Belgium, and I love my country, but people don't believe that it works, and they're very conservative. So I, from day one, went to Cambridge and New York and even Silicon Valley to sell things, because in Belgium, they want it for free. We'll test it for free. I said, you don't work for free neither, so I won't give this for free, right? So cut the crap. In the US, it's different. In the US, they're more risk-taking. So I came to the US to move faster. There's an eagerness to adopt disruptive innovation. And in Belgium, this won't work. No. And then when it starts to work, even today, yes, it works. We follow you, but maybe we'll do it ourselves. That's so crazy. While in the US, they love you, they love entrepreneurship, they want to move fast, and you can get to bigger budget faster. So I think it's bigger budgets, bigger market, faster movement, and willing to engage in. So our sales, 80% is coming from the US. It's not coming from Belgium, but finding investors in Belgium is still possible. And right now I'm struggling, should I move with more investors in Belgium rather than US? And what I think is, if you go to round B and the bigger investments, it's even tougher. So that might be another point of discussion.
Okay, so I will ask all of you to give a big round of applause to these heroes, entrepreneurial heroes from Europe.